I just it is. Hi guys, this is my Friday the 13th WWE SmackDown versus SmackDown ECW house show review. It was a good show. The whole was better than the parts. The crowd was extremely hot for the whole show, just about everything. I mean, even Funaki got a pretty decent reaction, and that was right after Undertaker and Kane's match, where they got a nuts reaction, and Cully even got a pop. Anyway, we'll just go through the matches. What did you give the first match, James?
Probably almost 3. It was slow though. I probably couldn't give it 3. So yeah, probably 2 3/4.
Yeah, well, we give it 2 3/4 because these are our agreed ratings, and after we spoke about it. Next up we had and a comment on the match. It was Chavo versus Punk, because a lot of the matches were a lot slower because the crowd was so hot for stuff. They didn't need to do anything to get a reaction out of the fans. It was just as simple as Edge just needed to walk around the ring holding his hands up, and people would just boo him so much they could just keep so much heat from that. And that's why the matches were a lot slower, so they do lose some value and star rating, but the show as a whole was a lot better. Next match was
the Russian guy, don't know what his name is, forgot it.
Vladimir
against who was it? Gibson?
The Jobbers.
Yeah, Gibson and
Shannon Moore.
Yeah, Shannon Moore, that's right. Mainly a squash.
Yeah,
lots of spots.
There were some good spots, but there was some botching, wasn't there? Shannon Moore tried to go over the top rope.
Yeah, it's a bit of a botch.
And Vladimir Kozlov was supposed to catch him and didn't. So what was our rating on that one?
1.5 stars. There was a couple of good spots.
1.5 stars. There was some good spots, and the crowd was into it for the most part. Next match was Kofi Kingston versus Shelton Benjamin, was it not?
Yes.
This match was it was actually pretty fun, but Shelton sort of did a bit too many rest holds and sort of killed a lot of the heat that the crowd had.
I think Shelton actually thought the crowd was going to be a lot smarter and more smart fan percentage of the crowd.
What you mean you're saying is they would have appreciated what he was doing when he was trying to kill the crowd with it?
Like when he was trying to kill the crowd with the rest holds.
Yeah.
And trying to get heat from it. But obviously they didn't, because they was mainly children-orientated crowd.
Yeah, I agree. He was trying to do something and the fans just didn't get it. But our agreed rating was
2.5.
2.5.
Good for 2.5 stars.
Good for 2.5 stars. Kofi got some pretty good reactions as well.
At the start and end of his match, but during it though it did.
It did, yeah. The next match was
the Divas match.
The Divas match, where they had Kelly. This is the second time she actually come out and speak with the fans, and she picked a special bell ring. Oh, we also saw Shane McMahon at the start of the night, but that wasn't a big deal. The crowd just went nuts for it and sort of kept the heat of the night going. But the Divas match, it was between Michelle McCool and Victoria, with Nay Neidhart at ringside. It was a good match. I think it's the best performance I've seen out of Michelle McCool. I can't say I'm a big fan of hers because she can hardly work most of the time, but she's getting better, and the fans actually, the heel hook was a bit more over than I thought it would be, because the fans actually chanted tap, which was good to see, and that was how it finished the match, and it was very hot. What do you think of the match?
More or less exactly the same. It was a bit slow, which is what you expect from a Michelle McCool match, but Victoria done a good job in carrying it through most of it. It's probably a 2-star match. Yeah,
2 stars. The next match was
tag title match.
This match was Finlay and Hornswoggle versus Miz and Morrison, and this match went for about half an hour of the show, and the show was about 4 hours long, which was very long, considering last WWE house show we went to only went for 2.5. But this match went for half an hour, and about 15 minutes of it was the Miz and Morrison and Finlay and Hornswoggle doing a lot of comedy and getting a massive reaction from it. I mean, massive. It was deafening. A lot of this, Hornswoggle was mega over. Miz and Morrison were mega over. Hornswoggle, there was chants for pretty much everyone. I mean, with the heels, there were the negative chants like so-and-so's a homo, blah blah blah, and Miz and Morrison were really in form, and because it was just such a fun match, even though it was for the most part comedy, we thought it was very impressive. What was our rating for that one?
3.25 stars. It was pretty damn good. Good comedy match. Yeah. Very good.
And then we had an intermission, was it? Or
we had an
intermission and nothing happened. Some kids screaming and getting something to eat, and then we paid what, $18.20 for 2 hot dogs and 2 drinks. A lot of money. Fail. And then we came back with what was it?
US title match.
US title match. Chuck Palumbo, the douche, versus Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy got a massive pop, and people were singing along with his entrance music.
How over is Hardy with the kids? That was huge.
Yeah, he was pretty over with the kids, and I don't think it was just because he's Jeff's brother. It was really refreshing to see that. And Chuck Palumbo came out and he sort of killed the crowd. I asked James if it was getting a bit chilly in the building when he came out, but he did come out on the motorcycle, which was nice to see. But the match was pretty simple. They didn't play to the crowd too much. They sort of just got straight into wrestling. There was a lot of playing to the crowd in this show, but they did just get straight to wrestling. So we saw a pretty basic 5-minute TV match where Hardy squashed Palumbo. And what did we give this rating?
2 stars.
2 stars. Nothing much to it. Palumbo did get some offense in, but it was very basic. Next match we had was
Taker Kane, the MVP Henry match.
Undertaker and Kane, Brothers of Destruction versus Mark Henry, yes, and MVP. And this was another match of the night candidate, as well as Finlay and Hornswoggle versus Miz and Morrison. And I never thought I'd say that the 2 match of the night candidates would contain Hornswoggle or Mark Henry. But this was the crowd went nuts. You knew the match was going to be crazy or the crowd was going to be crazy for the match when Kane got the type of reaction that Undertaker usually gets in the US. And then when Undertaker came out, it was deafening, and James even recorded it on his phone, and we might see if we can put it up on my channel just to show you how loud it was. The match itself was also very good, and there was a lot of playing to the crowd because they didn't need to do much to get a reaction. It was really good, and MVP was pretty funny in the match just because of the way he looked at the crowd when a stupid chant started up of Henry wants a Big Mac. So yeah, good match. Really hot crowd. We'll just hold it here for a bit, okay? Yeah, that's what we give it. 3.5.
3.5 stars. Yeah,
3.5 stars. Good enough, and the crowd was very hot for it. Next we had
Crowd Killer.
Yeah, Crowd Killer, which had Funaki come out right after the Brothers of Destruction.
A huge pop too.
Got a huge pop when they left. And so you had Funaki come straight out, and so everyone was kind of dead and going to get a drink, and some people thought the show was over. And so Funaki came out and it was a bit dead, and then you had Kali come out when everyone realised there was still a show on, and he got a bit of a pop, and they had a 35-second match where Funaki got 3 hits in and still carried the match by running off the ropes and getting hit in the head, and then Kali putting in that vice grip lock, and this was a squash, wasn't it, James?
Pretty much. Went for about 40 seconds, if that. Yeah. Basic.
And then next we had the main event, which was Edge versus Taker. Where
Edge versus Batista.
Why did I say Taker? Edge versus Batista. This was about 15 minutes of Edge walking around the ring, tearing up people's posters, and being awesome as a heel. And Batista, eventually got on the mic and started calling Edge a chicken shit. Good message to send to the kids, isn't it? Call your enemies chicken shits. And this match was, when they actually got into the match, it was actually pretty good. And me and James kept calling the Batista's spots by whoever did it, like when he hit the spear, we said Goldberg. When he did the shoulder barges, we said Lesnar, and that was pretty entertaining. But the match really was suffering a bit at the end because there were a lot of people eager to go because it was getting a bit late. But then at the end, Undertaker came back out and saved Batista from Chavo, Bam Neely, and Edge, who was getting beaten down. But yeah, the match was pretty good. What did we give it?
3.5. Yeah.
3.5 also. Overall for the show, while it wasn't the best wrestling show, the crowd was just so nuts for it. You can't really give it the same rating as you would if it was a show in the US. And it's not because we were there, it's because I still have trouble hearing now after after the show that was just so loud for some of the. There was a pop for a scoop slam from Shelton Benjamin onto Kofi Kingston. That was pretty sad. My rating for the show would be about a 7.75. Yours would be, James?
Probably 7.5, 8, anywhere between it. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, James is a bit more vague. Anyway, we're off.